This video is going to be on Bang stocks, the name of the companies and their charts, and kind of a quick history of what's happening with them. But Bang stands for Blackberry, AMC, Nokia, and GameStop. Now, they're very well-known companies, ones that have pretty much had a pretty decent past, but now their future or their current present is not really great. So it's kind of almost a nostalgic kind of feel. And you'll see like the whole epic battle that goes on between the retail traders and the hedge funds and longs and shorts duking it out, and the short squeezes. So they're very volatile stocks to trade. So now I'll pull up a few charts for you just to show you. So if you're looking to trade them or invest in these companies, you'll see right here, BB, it's currently trading at $3.59, and you'll see it has a history, used to be up at around $28, $29. So obviously that's a big fall from grace there. You'll see AMC, I'll map them out a little bit better, but you'll see they're very similar patterns, right? So Blackberry and AMC, AMC at one point got up to 726 with the short squeeze. Obviously that's not valued at that, but you'll see when you go back to like on a monthly chart, you'll see how it got kind of pumped up there. So, typically right around here, there was a lot of trading it going back, in the whole kind of 2020 run phase, but it's not valued. It's not that good of a company, but you'll see $726 down to $7. And then Nokia, pull that one up here. You'll see that got pumped up to $42, or that was around $42. And then you'll see it kind of just trade sideways, but you notice how they kind of almost have like those descending triangle patterns. What's the other one? Nokia, Bang, GameStop, right? So you'll see GameStop right here. Another one that was kind of just trading sideways and then pumped up. So if you're looking to trade stocks like this or invest in them, just like any stocks, you got to find those support and resistance levels. So you can see on these monthly charts, they're very kind of, where do you find support and resistance? That's where you kind of got to zoom in on them. So kind of go to a weekly chart and see, okay, well, there's some, this might be a little bit, you can pick, let me pull up my drawing tools here, kind of connect those peaks and valleys right here, which extend out to the future to find those support and resistance zones. So I'm kind of connecting as many peaks and valleys as possible. And so this one right here we're starting off with is GameStop. So these kind of give you some angular or some horizontal support levels. So you'll see right here, price is nearer to that kind of that 1050 range. And you'll see it's been kind of trading in this zone right over here. So with support and resistance, right, you want to buy low and sell high. So you'd want to find and see if price holds a support level. So if you were to look in these areas, if you bought in these areas and then you got a candlestick close below here, you could use that as your stop. But again, with buying low, selling high, when are you taking your profits, right? Everybody wants it to just go back up, with looking at GME. Oh, I wanted to go back to up to $120 again. But how many people bought at these levels up here when it got pumped up? That's where you got to be careful of, is a lot of the retail traders get caught in the pump and they buy at the tops, and then the sellers sell and then they get dumped on. Right. So buying low and selling high, you buy nearer to the support levels. You got to be careful at these resistance levels. So these are kind of some zones of looking where to, look at for buying low and selling high. Right now, it's not looking very hot. It's just kind of got this descending channel. So if I kind of do this right over here, you'll see it's kind of like lower highs forming. So it's really just got this descending triangle like that, right? So you'll probably see that basically these are all very similar. So if I pull up Blackberry, kind of pulling up these zones here, go up to the drawing tool, kind of connect these previous peak levels, extend it out to the future, and you see another thing right here, kind of a zone right here, possible double bottom forming. So you'll see if this on a weekly chart will hold down here, but it's a support level, right? If you were to buy lower down here, if you got a candlestick close below here, you would look to maybe leave that as your stop. And then you look at these resistance levels above to take profits or determine whether you're going to hold it longer. But again, you got to be careful on the pump buying at these peak levels, right? So if you're buying near resistance, right, you buy low and sell high, buy at support, sell near resistance. So that's Blackberry. All right, now let's take a look at Nokia. This got another weird one, like way up there. You'll see that pump up there kind of come down to these levels here. So again, connecting as many peaks and valleys as possible, get these zones, and shows the areas of where to possibly look to buy and sell if you're looking to trade them. So you'll see right here another angular resistance. If I connect right out here, out to here, kind of a big triangle, descending triangle pattern, lower highs being formed. And here's a very important support level right around this 320-ish range right here. So you can see if it bounces up and fails, but like you'll see, it's a bearish pattern. So these are not good stocks right now. So again, this would be a very critical support level. And then these up here would be resistance. And I didn't pull up AMC here. That's the big daddy right over here. That and GameStop. So if you kind of extend out to the future, like $726 is a joke. It's not valued at that type of company, but it was lots of pumping and dumping going on, and that's where you got to be careful. Be aware of these daily gaps right here. So sometimes a price might, if it gets a pump again, it might pump up into those daily gaps. So be aware of gaps on charts. And you'll see here kind of these zones right here. So you see a lot of that consolidation right around that $7 range. Very, very important support level at the moment. And you'll see kind of, again, these lower highs being formed. And you have that descending triangle, right? So that's a bearish pattern. But it doesn't mean it can't get pumped back up again, but don't have the expectation. I mean, could it get pumped up? Sure. But like anything, is it valued at that? Is it worth that amount as a company? I'm no expert, but probably not. So this is where you would look to buy low near support levels and sell near those resistance levels. So these are bang stocks. Again, it's Blackberry, AMC, Nokia, and GameStop. They were some pretty well-known companies. They still are, and but they're not doing so hot, these retail stores. So it's those battle of the retail traders and the hedge funds, and they're fun to trade, but they can be very scary or very risky if you don't know how to find those support and resistance levels.